What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have the God of High School anime episode 2 review. From now on I'll be uploading much more God of High School content on my channel, including a lot of stuff about the manhwa as well. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord to talk more about its greatness. So for this review I'll be going over what I enjoyed, what I didn't, and some cut content and general discussion comparing it to what's adapted so far from the manhwa, and I hope you enjoy it. As mentioned in episode 1, the OP is hype as fuck and still solid as fuck for episode 2. We'll most likely watch the opening for the rest of the season. So as a whole, after watching episode 2, I can now safely say that the anime is more for people who already read the manga. So you could say it's for already fans instead of making new ones, but while saying that, they can very well make new fans on this, but just based on how it's going, it's focusing on more the hype moments and not really going into really any backstory for many of the characters and the prolonged aspect of the manga, not really exploring many of those bits and pieces, and it is changing up a lot of stuff which I'll talk about soon. But as a whole, if you're already a fan of the God of High School, I think the anime is more, better for you because you have knowledge of what's going on, as they're not really doing the best job of explaining everything and giving it all that like exposition dumps that they do in the manhwa. So that's just a good thing to know. But if you're an anime only, it's still fine. You'll immensely enjoy it, the greatness to come. The highlight of the episode, as always, will be the fighting. The fighting in this manhwa or now anime is the main driving point and why it's so good and why it even got an anime adaptation, just based on how insanely good many of the fights are, and we're getting some hype ones coming up. We got some cool little like in-between fast-paced fight or filler fights that kind of were drawn out a little bit longer in the manhwa, and that kind of annoyed me because many of those fights I didn't really care about. I'm glad that they took like 10 seconds for many of those fights to get through to show the main one, and it's showing how fast-paced this really is. They showed the flashbacks or some of the flashbacks for the three main characters and them meeting, which actually happened before the tournament started, but it was shown in episode 2 at a weird little thing they did. The order is the same, but they're showing it in a different order. They're showing the backstories in different places than what they were in the manga, which I'm fine with, doesn't bother me. We got to meet most of the judges, which was good to see. And the biggest issue I had with this episode is how once Mori had taken out the slippers dude and pretty much got disqualified, the way he was taken out by the pretty much lead person of the God of High School tournament didn't happen in the manga. Mori just pretty much went with the judges and went to get his punishment or whatever. You usually have to watch to find out, or if you know. And pretty much that guy didn't have any role in it. He didn't even appear during those parts. But it's good that they're mixing it up and making it an anime original. They mentioned that in the live stream they did a couple of weeks ago, where I made a video talking about it, how it's pretty much, it's not adapting everything and it's making its own thing, and that the creator was happy with what they're doing. Instead of adapting every little thing, they're making it unique in its own thing, which is good, but also leaves some detail and questions how they're going to go with the rest of the story. Also, something major that I noticed when Mori was fighting is that they didn't really show the character's level HP or GP during the fights. During the early parts of the manhwa, or this stage of the manhwa, pretty much each blow or each back and forth, each attack, it would show many of the characters' level HP and GP and how they're increasing, decreasing, and so on, such as Mori's power level increasing when he got serious or when he goes for attacks, but then when he's not. So they didn't really show much of that. They showed it in episode 1 that on their wrist they have these things, the level HP and GP, but they didn't have an emphasis on it in this fight like they did in the manhwa, which was a big part of the early stage of the manhwa. I hope they actually implement that more in the story in the next coming episodes. And the anime adapted up to the start of chapter 13 of the manhwa, with so far there being an average of 6 chapters being adapted per episode. I wonder if they'll keep going down this path. They may keep going down this route, or they may even speed it up a lot more. We'll just have to see what happens. But as a whole, we got the three main characters bonding, getting closer together, which I think would be in episode 1, but it was in episode 2, but whatever. We got Mori going super Chad. Another issue that I had with it is when Mori went for those super fast kicks, I much preferred in the manga because it has like different colors for each kick and him going from place to place. In the anime, it just showed him going for all the kicks, then moving past, and then the after explosion of all the attacks impacting. While in the manhwa, it showed like each kick like a different color and how they all impacted him differently, which was a very good thing and a very top tier thing I enjoy about the manhwa throughout the story. And I hope that comes to play when he uses more of his somewhat special or unique moves. But as a whole, an enjoyable episode, probably better than the second episode. The soundtrack throughout the episode was good, especially near the end where I'm just going to call it anime original content where the lead commissioner came in and, spotted Mori with some unknown power. Soundtrack there was solid, and that's it for today's quick episode 2 review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave me know down in the comments, subscribe, leave a like, and that's it guys. Peace.